Hello there, everyone. I'm Joe Holbert, the Late Night Grin's very own WWE Speed Correspondent, and I'm here to report on, cover, analyze, and break down one of the most titanic clashes in professional wrestling history. It is the matchup many have preemptively declared professional wrestling's Hagler Hearns. We have 3 minutes on the clock. We have the machine gun Karl Anderson. We have Andrade El Idolo. And the possibilities that presents are endless. I hope everyone is well. We have about 10 minutes here until bell time. If you're as excited as I am, thumbs up the video, subscribe, all those great things. As you can see, folks, we have things to examine here before the bell. So my goal here, basically, is to set the stage. You know, I think it's important that when you're dealing with athletes of this caliber, I think it's important you really kind of break it down, contextualize what is ahead. So with that in mind, I have some notes here, as you can tell. And I think we'll try our best to really frame this the correct way as what is a titanic clash. All right. Now, going to pull back the curtain for just a moment. I promise it won't happen often, but we all know the deal. This was taped before Friday Night SmackDown. Now, we don't have any spoilers. Certainly, I didn't say any spoilers on the Late Night Grin. I would never do that. This is key because it means both gentlemen had distractions to battle on Friday night. Now, of course, Andrade El Idolo, he had double duty, right? He was battling Apollo Crews. Later on in the evening, live on Fox, on Nick Aldis' great SmackDown program. Now, look, I don't want to be dismissive of Apollo. He's a hell of an athlete. That's a pretty safe bet, though, right? I think if you were doing, the betting odds, that's a pretty comfortable match. I don't think there was a lot of distraction there. On the other hand, let's think about the machine gun Karl Anderson, what was going on in his head on this night in Albany, New York. Folks, his best friend, the phenomenal AJ Styles, was wrestling with serious turmoil. He was pondering retirement. He was wearing a very funny suit. There were so many factors at play for Karl Anderson. I'm slightly concerned his head wasn't fully in the game. And as we know, folks, if your head is not in the game against Andrade El Idolo, you have no chance. So I think you have to kind of consider those things as the bell is about to ring here. All right. There's some history here, folks. You may not know that, but if you watch this show, you're going to know it. There's some history here. This is their second singles match ever. The first took place when? I'll tell you when. The 2011 G1 Climax. 2011 G1 Climax. Guess who won? You guessed it, the machine gun Karl Anderson. It was a different time for both gentlemen, but that was the result. Since then, they have shared the ring a handful of times, few tags, usually as opponents, some World Tag League action. There was one occasion where they teamed up in April 2012, which of course was the year of Machine Gun's famed G1 final campaign. April 2012, he and Andrade teamed up against Tama Tonga and Tetsuya Naito. Of course, I know you've heard of Naito. He's a pretty big deal. But Tama Tonga, of course, is on SmackDown, which is Nick Aldis' show. So that is quite significant. Their last time opposite each other outside of WrestleMania Battle Royal in 2019 was two curious six-man tags in which the OC teamed up with Shelton Benjamin to topple Andrade and the Colognes on a live event loop, as we call them in the industry. So more familiarity than your memory may suggest. It'll be interesting to see how that plays into things because clearly this is their first time under these parameters, right? I mean, the G1 Climax, folks, none of you have watched one of those. They don't do 3-minute time limits, I can tell you that much safely. All right, we've got 7 minutes, folks. Please lock in. This is important. All right, let's talk about that length. It's a huge factor here. Now, after so long in AEW, if there's one thing we're certain of when it comes to Andrade El Idolo, he is not going to be very used to matches of this length. I mean, that is really the furthest thing from the experience he would have had in the land of All Elite Wrestling. On the other hand, the machine gun Karl Anderson has been living in NXT as of late, which should kind of position him with a little bit more experience in that regard, right? There's been some shorter matches on NXT. They've been in there with some young guns. I think that is an advantage for Karl, other than there's one big X factor that unfortunately means we're going to have to throw it out. And this is the concern. The machine gun Karl Anderson is not a singles wrestler. This is his first singles match since a 2-minute defeat to Jimmy Uso in September 2023. As you see here, folks, in my ring, you see this here, no tag. That's important. If you see Karl go to a corner, you got to keep in mind, this is a tag team grappler we're talking about here. We have about 5 minutes, so we're almost there. So, tag team specialist. On the other hand, of course, Andrade, a revered singles grappler. Now, let's go back to this chart here. Now, as you can see, this is the wrestling ring here. And you see these arrows. Now, it's pivotal to me that the machine gun Karl Anderson uses the outer perimeter of the ring. Now, why is that important? Well, quite frankly, I think the firepower of Andrade means that if they share center of the ring and trade bombs in that kind of Hagler-Hearns fashion, I don't think he has the firepower. Why does he not have the firepower? Well, I'll tell you. The back elbow. We've all seen it, the back elbow. Andrade will spin in either direction, folks. He will spin and land that back elbow, which is a knockout blow perfectly suited to this particular contest. Now, as you see here, I've actually gone to the trouble of doing a graph of sorts. Now, what this tells us is if Andrade goes this way or that way, Machine Gun should go this way. Now, what I'm basically saying is, in technical terms, he should duck if Andrade spins in any fashion whatsoever. Anderson will be well served to duck. Now, we have about 3 minutes here. The video will be posted live on X and or Twitter, depending on your generation. As it is posted, it is not live streamed. It's a little bit of a throwback in this way. As it is posted, we will play together. When the video is posted, I'll put it in the chat. I'll say, we're going to hit play now. And away we go for what could be 3 of the most exhilarating moments in professional wrestling history. It could be 30 seconds. It could be a minute. It could be 2 minutes. We don't know. The back elbow may decide it's a short night. That's what we do. Now, speaking of length, even as a tag team specialist, it feels key to me that Karl takes this into deep waters. Now, how deep can the waters really be at 2 minutes, 35 seconds? I don't know, but I think he needs to find out. If the match ends in the first minute, I think it's fair to say that Andrade will be in there. He'll more than likely be the victor. The spine buster is a hell of a weapon. It is not the back elbow. I think that goes without saying. Andrade, he's going to look to get this done quick. He has a match to wrestle later. I think if Machine Gun can get us in the 3rd minute here, that's when the match opens up. And that's why the outer perimeter, as you see here, 3 minutes, the outer perimeter is pivotal. If you can get deep in the ball game, I think things will open up for the tag team specialist, who is the older man, we must say. I don't think I'm talking out of turn to say that, but he's also the more active wrestler. Prior to Friday night, Andrade hadn't wrestled a single match since April 29th. That is a full month on the shelf. Meanwhile, the Machine Gun is making houses. He's doing NXT. He's doing everything. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here, as you can tell, folks. We're almost like a minute away. You can feel my nerves. You can feel my excitement. Anything can happen. Certainly the match was taped, but none of us have read spoilers. I certainly wouldn't give them away, as you know. I'm going to put this here again. Remember, we need to look for this here, the outer perimeter. Now, if they share center ring, I think this may be a quick night. Andrade, very, very explosive. Before we post here, folks, remember, if you've enjoyed this, if you enjoy this kind of analysis, please do hit a thumbs up on the video and get yourself ready. Go to WWE on Twitter and or X and get ready, because we're about to post here. We're about a minute away. If you have any questions, this is the time. You got about a minute here. You got about a minute. I'm nervous. I'm on the edge of my seat, because it's very seldom that we get to share these moments as a content creator and his audience, to get to share. Jenny has said in the chat that Andrade is minus 110. See, I got to be honest, in this format, I think Andrade is the bigger favorite. I do. And make of that what you will. That G1 Climax format, however, we saw how that served the Machine Gun back in 2011. So maybe they'll be able to have a rematch on Nick Aldis SmackDown, or maybe even on NXT TV. I think Andrade is the favorite. This format is very favorable for him as the kind of knockout artist among them. But look, That spinebuster is formidable, folks. If he lands it clean, anything can happen. Beast Mode's got machine gun in 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Look at this. Tope here with some official odds on behalf of the Late Night Grin. We're very close, folks. We're very, very close. We're almost there. We're almost there. I still see Tommaso Ciampa on my page right now. He last week beat Ludwig Kaiser to move on. The winner of tonight's match will meet Tommaso Ciampa next week. So the stakes, they can't be any bigger, really. I mean, this is one of the biggest matches of the year. And with that, it is posted on X. Okay, everyone, stay safe. Everyone, calm down. I'm posting the tweet in the chat. If you can pull up the WWE sorry. If you can pull up the WWE Twitter. I'm sorry, I just caught my throat there. Nothing made me laugh. Pull up the WWE Twitter, and we're going to hit play in about 10 seconds here. We're going to hit play together as a family. I'm going to watch this, and what a moment this is going to be. Okay? Head to the X, head to the Twitter, go to the WWE account. Take the CM one last time, especially the no tag part. It's very important. And with that, we're going to hit play on the new WWE Speed episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh, we're just straight to it. Folks, hang on a second. Machine Gun he's taking a completely different approach here. Center of the ring. Immediate cover from Karl Anderson, folks. Immediate cover. We are not seeing the outer perimeter. It must be said, Albany, New York seems unconvinced by the stakes of this one. My goodness, we have inside cradles. European uppercut. I don't like the tactics from Karl. I've got to be honest with you. The outer perimeter advice would have been very useful, I feel. And already, you're starting to see the momentum for Andrade here. Look at him go. We didn't even consider the knees in the corner. We didn't even consider it. This is over. He's out on his feet. Oh, my goodness. Folks, what did I say? What did I say, folks? There it is. Take it in. What did I say? How much outer perimeter did you folks see today? There it is. All right. WWE Speed. Anything can happen when you're talking about athletes of this caliber. Anything can happen. He gets caught there by the double knees, and that was the end of the night. Now, I will say, I do concede as an expert analyst, I hadn't thought of the danger of the double knees. It's usually a move with great setup, right? I kind of thought it would be out of play over 3 minutes. Usually it takes a while to kind of taunt and rev it up. There are allegations in the chat of a fast count. I don't know. I think he got him. I think the knees did the trick, and the DDT was kind of just icing, quite frankly. Format suits Andrade. We will not be back next week to watch him wrestle Tommaso Ciampa. But we were here today for, my goodness, what a dramatic affair. I mean, Karl went for it, right? I think he got the tactics right. I think that's something for him to look at with Coach Gallows. 1 minute 49 was the official count for the video. I'd imagine the match clocked in at around 30 seconds. I think this is something for Machine Gun to go back to the drawing board and really kind of ponder the tactics required for speed, if indeed he intends to re-enter the treacherous and dangerous circles of WWE Speed, because this is where the best are at, you know. On some level, I respect that Karl just kind of went for it, kind of like a Deontay Wilder approach. It went about as well for him as it did Deontay this past weekend, in fairness. But he went for it. I just think there was some tactics there that could have really helped him. And as I said, the deep waters, man, minute 3, that was his sweet spot. He didn't make it past minute 1. He had no chance, unfortunately. So there it is. There it is. Take it in one last time. This has been your official WWE Speed Grinalong via the Late Night Grin. This is the only time. Well, I'm not going to say that. They may do something funny. If Gallows wrestles in this thing, then this is the first and maybe only episode of this. We have some super chats for some reason, which I've only just realized before I end the stream. Okay, hold up. One thing I have to put for a flag on this. This is not allowed. Okay. Tope Suicida asks, did Machine Gun take a dive? Do you know how disrespectful it is to guys who have spent their lives preparing for these moments to throw allegations like that there? This is, I mean, We're talking 3-month training camps, bro, for this moment. Sometimes stuff happens. That's the game. That's sport. It is what it is. Please do not suggest such things about the great premier athletes of WWE speed. All right. The great confirmed shoot in the live chat. Got here late. Did you go over Andrade's injury history yet? Didn't quite have time. I think it would have aged badly anyway as a segment. So it is what it is. Showdown Spurs says, haven't seen a one-man performance like this since Gareth Bale and Tottenham in 2012, 2013. I appreciate that. It really is the compliment of the highest order. Wow, Jenny's convinced of brass nuts. I don't know, man. I think it's a format thing, guys. I remember out of perimeter. How much of it did you see? Saw none of it. It's going to happen. You can't hook with a hooker, so to speak, right? All right. Grin said, good thing I was shocked by this. You definitely didn't spoil it on Worldwide. Good going all around. I agree. It would have been terrible if I spoiled it on 2 separate shows. I would never do that, thankfully. I don't spoil wrestling shows on wrestling podcasts. Okay. As this comes to an end, sincerely, I hope everyone enjoyed this. It was a very dumb idea, but I thought it would pop you. It popped me, so hopefully it did you. We are back on Friday for the Late Night Grin and Oracle Odyssey. It will be a bracket of the Oracle of Wrestling's favorite wrestlers, and we will pick, from among them. I may come back later tonight for a Holbert House show over on the JHP channel. Otherwise, one thing that is happening for sure, Sunday, NXT Battleground Grinalong. I'm going to assume that night will go slightly better for the Machine Gun Karl Anderson, even if they don't leave with the belts, I should say. I think it will be a little bit of a more kind of, substantial match. I just got a feeling. So that'll be Oracle and I. This Sunday, we have shorts now on this channel. Go check them out. They're fun, especially the most recent one. It's very funny. And we are trying our best to bring you dumb horse shit like this and maybe occasionally make you laugh. With that in mind, you know the message, folks. Keep grinning. All how. And as always, enjoy this wonderful, snazzy outro. Congratulations to Andrade El Idolo. Commiserations to the Machine Gun Karl Anderson. Please comment below, like the video, and once again, enjoy this outro. Have a great night, folks.